Hi, welcome back everyone. It's the Kauai Lawyer, Donahoe. And today we're going to change things up a little bit because we have with us today Kelly Liberatore. She is a real estate guru here on Kauai for Makai Properties. Hi Kelly, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And we're here today to talk about some of the real estate trends that are happening here in Hawaii, here in Kauai, and the nation as a whole. So Kelly, why don't you tell us a little bit about why you decided to become a real estate agent?
Well, I think that I didn't really decide to become a real estate agent so much in the beginning. It was real estate sort of chose me. I was more interested in real estate appraisal in California, but when I moved to Kauai, I found that the skills and training that I got there didn't transfer here. And so I got a job in a real estate office as an assistant, and then just worked my way through the ranks.
Okay, so I'm looking here at some statistics, and it says according to Realtor.org, existing home sales for the entire country were up 6.1% in March 2015, which is actually the highest rate that they've been in 18 months. So does there appear to be a similar trend in Kauai and Hawaii in general?
You know, Chris, even though we have to study national trends and state trends, all real estate is local. And even on Kauai, it becomes microcosmic when you narrow down town to town. But let's say, for example, we just look at Kauai as a whole. Our numbers March to March, 2014-2015, were actually down 5%. So while we trend and we want to watch the trends economically throughout the whole nation, we still want to stick to what's going on in Kauai as well, and what we saw was actually a little bit of a downward trend in March for Kauai.
Okay, so looking at local trends is a better idea than just overall national trends.
Well, you do both. You have to look at all of the mass trends, you look at the national, then you look at the state, and then you also want to look at Hawaii as a whole and then narrow down into your specific neighborhood and see what's happening micro-locally.
So in looking at overall home prices, according to Zillow.com, the current median home value in Hawaii is $546,100. And here on Kauai, it's a little less, but it's still pretty high. It's $505,300 for a home. Mm-hmm. And it looks like that has gone up, actually, approximately 8.5% over the past year. So what do you think is the biggest reason for the price being so high?
Well, in fact, when we look at the median price for Kauai, it's actually a bit skewed because of the sales. There's been some very high sales that have happened recently on the North Shore. And when you break it down individually for different areas of Kauai, the North Shore's median price is about $1.3 million. And the sort of $500,000 price that you're quoting is an average. We look at the west side, for example, as a standalone. I think that median is more in the 400,000 median range, which is quite a bit lower, and Hui is maybe 500. And those again are going to change quarter to quarter depending on the sales.
So Kelly, being here on Kauai and in Hawaii, a group of islands, there's clearly a lack of inventory because there's only so many places you can build. Mm-hmm. So does that have to do with the higher prices to live in Hawaii as opposed to the rest of the nation?
Oh, absolutely. I think that that's going to be a consistent factor for Hawaii, and I believe that Hawaii's always had a higher peak on the upswing throughout the historical measurements of these things, and that's because we have a finite amount of land. And there's not a lot of new construction, even though it seems to be. There is not a lot of construction. There's about 2 or 3% of the land available on Kauai that can even be sold to the public market.
And when you say that, because certain areas of Kauai, they're never going to build it.
Right. Well, let's not say never, but they're owned currently by entities that aren't available to us. State, Hawaiian Housing, Robinson family, those types of things.
Here in Hawaii, have you seen an increase in purchases of investment property or vacation rentals or permanent residences that are being bought here?
Well, I believe that because we have some determined areas that are designated for visitor destination areas, we're always going to see that population turnover with second home buyers and investors. Not seeing a lot of investment dollars come into the residential areas like we did before the downturn at this point. Seeing a lot more homeowners coming into the market now with the interest rates low, first-time home buyers. So it's probably a good mix.
Kelly, let me ask you this. As someone who lives here, you live here, we see the price of everything is higher than seemingly everywhere else in the country. Is Hawaii just too expensive a place to live in? Or is it worth it?
I think it's totally worth it. I mean, Kauai's not for everyone, but you'll make it work. Do people save up their whole life savings to get married in...
Idaho.
Yeah.
Or Minnesota.
Yeah.
Well, no offense to anybody from Minnesota or Idaho. I heard it's nice this time of year. But you're right. We've got beautiful beaches. It's a paradise, considered a paradise.
I think it's an awesome place to raise children. I wanted to raise my son here.
But there's a price for that.
Yeah, it's a price of paradise.
And what you're saying is, people, if you want to come here, you want to make it work, you'll make it happen.
Yeah, you'll fight for it.
Excellent. So, for those of you out there who may be watching this outside of Hawaii, Kelly, I want to ask you a couple of general, overall real estate questions.
Sure.
Let's say a couple come to you to buy a house. What is the number one disagreement that you hear between the buyers over the house? Is it about location? Is it about style? Is it about price? Is it about the color of the house? What do you hear?
I would say when I walk into a house with a couple, one will immediately fall in love with it, and the other one not so much, and you can tell immediately. Someone's not happy with the layout, or someone doesn't like how it feels, and the other one does. At the end of the day, if it's a husband and wife married couple, it's the wife that wins.
Do they ever come to you and ask you to settle it?
Yeah, I've been asked that before.
So, you're more of a couples therapist.
Most definitely.
As well,
yeah.
/ real estate agent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've had to make some determinations for them before.
Excellent. Excellent. That must be supremely comfortable for you
yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, it is.
What are some design trends that you're noticing?
We're seeing a lot of large tiles, like 18, 24-inch tile. We're seeing open living space, outdoor living space.
Like outdoor showers?
Yes, exactly. And making lanais into like extra living room areas. Lovely expansions of the outdoors in.
Okay, got to ask you, because I see it on real estate shows all the time. They always talk about the open concept, like you mentioned. And whenever they ask somebody, hey, we want an open concept. Why do you want an open concept? It's, oh, we love to have people over. We love to entertain. Does anyone ever come and actually say to you, I want an open concept, but I don't like people and I don't want anybody coming over?
Yes, and for those people, I tell them, have a 2-bedroom house, because, you know, as soon as you buy a house in Hawaii, all your friends want to come over and visit you. So if that's the kind of personality you have, you better keep with a small house. But you can still have an open concept.
So if you're a recluse or a hermit, keep it to a 1-bedroom.
Keep it small, yeah.
Excellent advice. That's great advice. Kelly, what's more important then? Buying a house with your heart or with your wallet?
That's a really good question. Sometimes people's hearts are bigger than their wallets, so probably it would have to be wallet. But I will say, you know, for first-time home buyers, there's such a distinction in who's the buyer when you ask certain questions. If it's a buyer, they probably should stick to wallet, because maybe they're not going to be able to get their dream home first. You have to step into that market maybe with what you can afford, and your dream home follows later.
What tips or advice would you give potential home buyers out there?
I would say that you want to right away align yourself with a professional team of people that are going to help you walk through this process. Your professional real estate broker, your professional lender, your attorney, your accountant, your home inspector, your team of people that are going to work with you and make this happen for you.
Because they're on your side.
Exactly.
So if you're buying a home, you don't want to be out there alone by yourself.
Looking on the internet for a property is fine, but you want to be speaking and aligning yourself with professionals as soon as you can, because they're the ones that are going to answer the specific questions for you.
Because they, like you, know the market, know the lenders, know the people,
exactly,
and know the professional staff that can help you.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Kelly Liberatore from Makai Properties, Coldwell Banker here in Kauai, for coming in, answering some questions about real estate.
Thank you.
If somebody has questions out there for you, want to get a hold of you, they can contact you how?
They can email me at kelly@makaiproperties.com, or call me at 808-639-2061.
Excellent. Thank you everyone for watching. Please keep the comments and questions coming in. You can follow me at Twitter or subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is the Kauai Lawyer, Chris Donahoe and Kelly Liberatore,
Thank you.
saying take care. Thanks.
Take care.
Aloha.